Good evening, and welcome to Denton Connection. I'm Jordan Miller. Everyone is connected in some way, and what better place to find different connections than Denton, Texas, a city filled with diversity, art, and music. Each week we'll be covering stories based around a common theme. This week, we're focusing on starting up in Denton and what it means to live or work in this city. Starting us off this evening is a look at Denton through the lens of various restaurants in the city. Reporters Hannah Minch and Chance Williams show us what life is like for Denton diners.
Charming, unique, and diverse. These are the words that come to mind when you think of Denton, Texas. Here, Legends Diner is located in the heart of the city. So whether you're craving an old-fashioned pancake or the full Denton experience, Legends has you covered.
We first opened October 2nd last year.
50s trivia displays on the TVs around the diner. Vintage toy cars line the windows. The walls are decorated with memorabilia in bright pastels. Legends Diner takes you back in time.
They're just amazed that Denton has it's preserved some of its past.
Denton is known for its unique small businesses, each possessing its own sense of character and personality. At Legends Diner, serving delicious food is just as important as building customer relationships and creating happy memories.
Denton is it's quite a mixed culture, and that's a good thing.
The Witching Hour is bound to bring out all the different characters of Denton, Texas.
Everyone is so completely different and unique, and everyone who comes in here has a distinct personality.
Whether that be a Denton native, an aspiring musician, or a place for Mean Green students, Coney Island has all the clientele.
A good place where all the college students come and hang out, and since all them come and hang out here, it really just kind of picks up all of their energy and kind of reflects it onto us.
It reflects the nightlife. That's where you want to be after hours.
However, not all energy is good energy, especially at a diner that is open 24 hours a day.
It was a group of 3 boys, and the diner was pretty full, and they were sitting at a booth making monkey noises, and they spit on the table and poured all of the salt out on the floor.
Despite rowdy customers, the Denton variety is the community.
Everyone here is all living their own lives, but together.
I'm Hannah Minch, NTTV.
Diners aren't the only places in Denton where you can find life. Look no further than your local parks to see all sorts of people out and about. Let's turn to Nathan Mayer and Caleb Velez for more on the Parks and Rec of Denton.
Parks and Recreation is an often forgotten part of local government, but the services it provides are integral to the community.
We provide not only the open spaces and parks and trails that you see, we also maintain 2 cemeteries. We have the Keep Denton Beautiful program, so beautification of the parks and city of itself, as well as recreational centers with programs, childcare, fitness, all those activities that you normally think of when you think of a Parks and Recreation department.
Studies have shown that having easy access to green spaces or parks increases the general health of a city and the happiness of its citizens. During the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people have been stuck inside. The clean outside spaces provided by Parks and Recreation gives people a place to escape after spending a long day stuck inside.
I'm just chilling. I'm getting some fresh air. Quarantine's got me cooped up for the past couple months, and so it's nice to get some fresh air.
We like to come out here on the weekends just to get away from school and away from the campus, just to hang out and relax.
Not all the benefits of Park and Recreation are immediately seen.
So there are a lot of benefits to Parks and Recreation. You have the health and wellness of the community. So we offer a lot of those fitness and nutritional and programs to the community to help increase everyone's health and wellness. A lot of people don't think about the economic impact of Parks and Recreation. Parks increase property values, they attract businesses to town, but also we offer a lot of athletic events, and we encourage people to come to Denton for those athletic events. So we have a lot of sports tourism here in Denton also. So Parks and Recreation offers a lot of benefits. And on top of that, the conservation. We are in charge, we are stewards of the land in the city of Denton, and we are working to maintain trees and open space and really providing a good quality of life for our citizens.
Beyond just providing beautiful parks and recreation centers, they also organize several community events.
Currently going on is the Great American Cleanup. It was originally scheduled for the spring, but was postponed. So registration is open right now online at kdb.org, and it goes through October 11th. You can, with your family or a small group, schedule a time to go clean up an area and beautify Denton. We also are working with the Main Street Association down around the square for a haunted hunt, a little social distance scavenger hunt for Halloween. And then a crowd favorite is always our letters from Santa. So you can register yourself or a family or friend to receive a letter from the big guy at the North Pole, actually postmarked from the North Pole.
For more information on Denton Parks and Recreation, the services they provide, and any upcoming events, visit cityofdenton.com and look under Parks and Recreation. For NTTV, I'm Nathan Mayer.
When we come back, we'll take a look at art around the city and learn about one UNT student's experience during COVID-19. Stay with us. Welcome back to Denton Connection. I'm Jordan Miller. It goes without saying that art is an integral part of Denton. It seems as if you can find art in almost every corner of the city. Here's Cami Farrell and Oscar Lopez on art in Denton.
When people think of Denton, they might think of UNT or TWU, but most people think of Denton's vibrant art scene. From live music to street murals like this one, there's a lot to see. Today we'll be taking you through some of these places and showcasing some of Denton's local artists. Today we'll begin with what started as a backyard craft 5 years ago for two friends. Ann Pearson and Judy Smith created the iconic Denton Cherry Orchard. It has brought visitors from around the country and world. Normally at an orchard, you'd be picking fruit, but here at the Cherry Orchard, you're picking a seed. Ann and Judy share this property that sits to the side of their houses, and they have turned it into a fantasy world that loves to play on words. From Ann's favorite 1960s egg chair to Judy's favorite armchair, there are over 300 seats to choose from. The two have been next-door neighbors for decades. Despite all this time together, they don't fight.
If one of us doesn't like the idea, we don't do it.
The pair say at least 100 people visit their orchard in a typical week. The orchard does not charge an entry fee, but does allow visitors to purchase items from their charity fridge to raise money for new chairs and to donate items to the community.
Everybody we talk to from other cities say, our town would never let this happen.
Although their exhibits have moved online during the pandemic, the Greater Denton Arts Council has served the community for the past 50 years. They provide public art funds and they provide grants for local artists. The GDAC sits in downtown Denton at the Patterson-Appleton Arts Center just beyond the square. Exhibition coordinator Jenny Bates shares how the GDAC is operating during the pandemic.
We bring the arts in the community together. So we bring musicians, artists, dancers, poets into conversation with the rest of the Denton community.
Through webinars and social media promotion, the council is trying to provide artists with exposure during these uncertain times. With over 300 digital resources on their site, some teach artists how to host live streams, push their own social media content, or how to access grants and aid. The council recently won a grant of their own from the National Endowment for the Arts and will soon be accepting applicants to tell a story of how the coronavirus impacted their lives and art. Bates shares some of the goals that they hope to achieve through this project.
Explore what it meant to be financially burdened by this, or to be for mental health or physical health, whatever, kind of helping the community heal from this and come back together, but through the arts.
UNT freshman Macy Ray is currently using her art to heal and cope with these trying times. Macy says she enjoys making all types of art and likes to study the work of world-famous classical artists. But she says an important part of doing that is to question the original artist's intent and why their pieces did so well. Macy recently questioned the art of Michelangelo's creation of Adam. She said she chose to follow the original design for the first hand before the pandemic. But as social justice calls began through Black Lives Matter, she chose to differ from the original and make the second-hand match a black skin tone.
I've never really mixed colors to get that kind of skin tone before, and so it's a very reflective process for me most of the time, because there's so many things that are in a piece of art. It's not just paint and canvas.
Macy says that art is greatly influenced by the world an artist lives in. She plans to graduate with a major in graphic design in 2022. Now that we've shown you these places, it's your turn to check them out for yourself. For North Texas Television, I'm Cami Farrell.
Like I said earlier, art is integral in the city of Denton, and not just through exhibits and murals. Denton is also home to Dark Age Tattoo, where customers can go to turn themselves into walking art galleries. Roni Perez and I sat down with the owner of Dark Age Studio to learn more. From the Victorian-era decor to the atmosphere that a group of world-renowned artists created in their shop, this iconic tattoo parlor is a staple of Denton culture.
We had a specific idea as far as like how we wanted to run our plays, the kind of vibe that we wanted to give off, and we didn't want it to be too different than kind of like with the community that was around us, so I felt like it was a perfect fit for us.
Dark Age Tattoo Studio specializes in all types of art styles and prides itself on bringing international, award-winning artists to the Denton community.
We have guest artists that come in from Australia, New Zealand, Poland, so I think that's something really cool, you know. And like I said, most of the guys that come in and do guest spots here, they're always like world-renowned artists. And it's cool to me that they come specifically to Denton.
As for the Dark Age artists themselves, they say the level of talent that Dark Age provides for Denton is unmatched.
The reason why Dark Age stands out is because you could go around the DFW and you could find a tattoo shop that is probably going to have one really good artist. Maybe two, that's extremely rare. But to have like 10, 12 in one shop, like that never happens.
From a perspective of a client, coming here is like going to the most high-end, well-known steak restaurant. But what's tight is that even though we're very high-end and we are at the upper level of quality of tattooing, we make ourselves available to anybody.
You can never stop watching, you know, there's so much to see. And like everyone's different in the way they tattoo.
There's a reason why we've won so many awards, and you know, throughout the country and even, you know, here locally. So I think people coming in with that expectation that they're going to get a really good piece, and our goal is to always exceed that expectation.
And the biggest thing that makes Dark Age stand out from other tattoo studios, their highest priority is serving Den residents with quality art.
Denton, I feel, is very art-driven. The type of art we put out, you know, we don't only just tattoo, you know, we have, you know, paintings, like paint classes that we do. I feel like Dark Age does a lot for the community. It just feels good to be a part of that.
Even if you only got a budget for a small little tattoo, you can come to the best shop in Dallas and we'll still take care of you as if you were paying 10 grand to get your whole back done.
From their opening in 2014, Frank says that a habit of learning, exchanging ideas, and honing their craft is what makes Dark Age one of the best tattoo shops in Texas.
Constantly learning from my clients, and I think even from my artists, you know, as much as I try to influence them, I feel that I'm equally influenced by them because they're all very driven. So I think whenever you have all that in one place, it's just a recipe for success.
When we come back, we'll look into the story of a UNT student's virtual learning experience. Stick with us. The COVID-19 pandemic has certainly taken its toll on Denton, from businesses closing down to stores enforcing social distancing. However, in the center of it all is UNT and its students, who are learning both in person and online. Tonight, one UNT student is learning music virtually from halfway across the world. Here's Shania Khan and Theodore Stalinsky with more.
School is finally back in session. However, things are far beyond normal. During this unprecedented global health crisis, students around the world are figuring out a way to adjust to this new normal. But for one UNT sophomore, remote learning and adjusting to COVID guidelines takes place far beyond Denton.
Okay, I'm Seiya Kudo, and I'm from Japan. I'm 20 years old, and I'm sophomore, and I'm studying percussion. I'm a music major in UNT. And my teacher told me to take an audition for UNT because UNT is very, very famous school for music.
Higher education being threatened globally is also affecting UNT's ability to deliver the same quality learning and experiences they used to.
This pandemic is making my life pretty difficult because I'm taking the classes from Japan, and Japan is 14 hours ahead from Texas. So every time I have a class, I have to take class in 2 a.m., 4 a.m., Yeah, it is pretty hard, yeah.
As difficult as it is for Saya being a full-time music student in a completely different time zone and with no in-person guidance, fortunately these weights are somewhat lifted from the help of his professor.
I saw him play last year at a concert, and he did a performance that was mind-blowing. And I'm texting, other faculty people like, who is this kid? He got a standing ovation from his students. And he's quite extraordinary, talented-wise. And I expect him to, when it's that level, I kind of expect him to be a little cocky. He's very kind, very hungry to learn.
With the virus proceeding in waves and countries set to recover in different stages, social distancing efforts have boosted all forms of remote learning.
We're Zooming this whole thing, and of course he's 14 hours difference, and he's been on time, and it's been amazing.
About 1 in 5 college students who responded to a national survey last spring were unsure of plans to re-enroll or had decided not to go to college this fall.
I thought if I didn't come back to Japan, I thought I won't be able to go back to Japan for a long time.
This kid is in Japan. It's crazy.
UNT states their first priority is keeping their Mean Green family safe, with efforts of communal expansion among many other steps to ensure the health of all students and staff. This reminds us we're in this together, and we're making these sacrifices in the name of being good neighbors and good citizens.
Last spring, as we got hit with this so quickly at spring break, everybody really had to rally quickly to figure this out. He said, we've got to find a time to Zoom because I'm in Japan. Been no time lapse. I can hear his equipment very well. I can hear everything. It sounds great. He's got different, sometimes he changes the camera angle and I can see different angles of the drum set or his feet working. But it's been great. It's just been crazy amazing.
Making memories in college and close friends are those who students look to for support. And even with all interaction forced behind a computer screen, efforts are made to reconstruct the idea of sharing these moments. Still, it's something to look forward to.
I missed Japan, but at the same time, I was like, I'm gonna miss my friends, Definitely wanna come back to them.
And honestly, all we can do is roll with it. That's all we can do. We can't quit. I mean, we could, but I don't want this pandemic to beat me, or us, or everything we're trying to build.
For North Texas Television, I'm Shania Khan.
Thank you for tuning in this evening with us here at Denton Connection. We hope to see you all again on October 9th. Until next time, I'm Jordan Miller. Have a great night.